Okay, and I am live. Hello and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here and watching on playback, welcome. It's always nice to have new people and new faces show up. And today, hey, Ange. Yep, yep. What was it when you say when two people say the same thing? Or jinx, is that it? Um, Jinxie, or is it Yonk? What was it that Scooby and Shaggy used to say? It was Jinx. He will be Jinxie. And hello, Melly. You had dropped by earlier. Hello, hello. And I hope everybody is having a great week. It is Wednesday, the good old hump day. Um, and if you hear anything in my microphone, my birds are in for their evening dinner. They're here first thing in the morning, and then they're here first thing at dusk for their nightly feast. So thank you everybody for being here. Thanks, Mel and Ange. And tonight I am doing readings. I can pull a few cards, but it would be greatly appreciated for a $5 minimum. Um, Girls got to pay bills, you know what I'm saying? I know, Ange, you said you just had a bill. I've got tires, and I was so blessed last time from the last donation show that I did. Y'all actually helped put food on my table, this week for a couple nights. So appreciate everybody who is able to donate. And so, in the meantime, like I said, I hope everybody's week is going well. There is going to be, well, Ange is here, and anybody who pops in and watches a little bit later. Ange will also be doing readings with Elizabeth tonight. I believe, Ange, on your channel, um, my intuitive. Why can I not remember Elizabeth's channel? My intuitive me or my intuitive self. Um, You can go ahead and pop that link in. Why I'm having a brain fart for Elizabeth's channel. I believe it's My Intuitive Me or My Intuitive Self. It's a wonderful, I love the name of her channel. Um, so let's go ahead and, I didn't mean to go, ugh. It's just how sometimes Heather breathes. Um, my intuitive, now why is now my phone is much different than my iPad. I could just be typing this right in My Intuitive Self. I believe it is, Ange. No. Well, I am sure at some point she might be popping in here. And her channel, it's My Intuitive, or oh my goodness. Now I know when people had a hard time remembering my channel's name, but I love her channel's name. So on your channel, and there is the link. My Intuitive Elsa channel is the More Intuitive Me. Thank you. Hello, Melly, back making dinner. Oh, dinner sounds wonderful. I'll have a little bit of a later dinner this evening because I'll be doing the show for a bit, and then I'll be able to eat dinner and then pop on and catch some of Ange and Elizabeth's show. I've never seen Elizabeth read live, so this is going to be a treat for me, for all of us. So, how are you doing today, Mel? I'm just while waiting to see people come in. Do something here with my hands. What they say about idle hands. This one deck really called out to me today, and I haven't been drawn to use any of Rebecca Campbell's Oracle decks lately. And I might gift them. I'm not sure. Or I may just go through and save my favorite cards. It's interesting when you order cards in decks. you think you're going to like super resonate, and then you do for a while, and then your energy changes up. This will be Elizabeth's first time reading with oh, wonderful. She's in good hands. She's in good hands. Oh no, this is perfect. I think I'll just go ahead and pull some cards, waiting to see if anybody comes in and would like a reading. Mel, of course, Mel, Ange, you want me to go ahead and pull a card, let me know, because I know you people, they believe, have donated. I know, Ange, you have donated. Mel, it's okay. I know things are tight these days. But this is very interesting because of the Samhain season that we're in. Um, this card is very apropos, and the card is not forgotten. Messages from Spirit, unbroken connection. So there's the beautiful ancestors that stand behind us, um, in spirit. And when we take the time to slow down and listen, go quiet within, we can hear their messages either through our thoughts, our writings, our art, music as well. We know, spirit can manipulate songs and bring songs to the forefront for messages. So isn't that beautiful? This is the perfect card. Messages from Spirit. So I think I am going to kind of set her right here. She's kind of like the main card, the energy for the evening. So in the meantime, see if I get any readings. Mel, would you like a card? And would you like a card? All dialed up. Like Bobby says, all dialed up and nowhere to go. Um, my hair's a little, I don't know, I kind of like it like this. My hair hasn't been this curly in a very, very long time. And I think it's because I don't color it as much. And some of the health, some of the spring is coming back to the curls. Thank you, Ange. And if someone can only do two, that's fine as well. And just in making sure that it's other under friends and family, so um, PayPal don't take so much from it. That would be wonderful. Alrighty. Aw, totally cute. Thank you. So I have, because Heather, she's always pull more than one deck. Um, I'm looking, Ange, what deck I've got. The Ethereal Tarot. I have the Tarot de Louis. I have my Artist Decoded. I have the new one. Let's do the new one from Jackie. And I have a very interesting story about this deck. This deck and the book had actually been gifted to me by a friend who wanted to learn, but then got scared of the tarot. And so she says, would you like this deck? And I took it on initially, and I'm looking at the booklet and the meanings and stuff on the cards, and I'm like, I don't think this is me. I don't know if I should use, I don't know if I necessarily resonate with it. And I tossed it. Shh, don't tell my friend. So this deck must have been meant for me to work with again at some point, because unbeknownst to Jackie, she sent me the same deck. And this deck is all the way from Ireland. So it's got the magic in it. And so I'm thinking Spirit's telling me, well, maybe you can start incorporating this, that there's some spiritual value. So let's pull a few cards for Ange and see what she gets. Alrighty. She's like, oh no. The magic from the Emerald Isle. Yes. And this version, oh my, the paper is so thin. It's like writing paper. It's just a little thicker or about the same as writing paper. So I have to be very careful because these can easily crease. and rip. Um, so, okay. So, Ange, this looks pretty good. I could just not pull one card because you can't really do a true reading, I feel, with just one card. Um, I have that same deck, and yes, thin and hard to shuffle. To riffle shuffle, if you're really good at it, that should be a breeze, which I'm not good at. But I did riffle a little bit, so you know how thin it is. So, Ange, recent past, Five of Pentacles, delays around money. And it says coming in from the cold. But and from what your WhatsApp shared with me a little while ago, I can see that. There's been a little bit of, but isn't that for all of us, the households these days, you know, with making ends meet and kind of feeling like we are left out in the cold, financial wise. Um, feeling left out in the cold, feeling isolated, withdrawn, or people being withdrawn. But for me, I feel it is the money because of something you were sharing earlier. But then I got the Three of Wands. And even though I don't know if you plan on traveling, like it says on the card, because some of her keywords are very interesting on this deck. Don't you think so, Melly? And so the Three of Wands, again, though, you have established, you have goals, you have an idea, your energy is grounded, it's focused, and you're looking forward, you're looking out, waiting for those ships to come in, those finances to improve. It's a very positive card. I got the Justice, legal situation or document, and it says police. Girl, what you doing? um, Finding out the truth in the matter affecting the balance. So there is some sort of justice coming for you, a balance, a justice, a fairness, especially with the money. I think something this could be, legally. Um, I have a feeling I know because of having to, uh, walk away from your career. Sometimes that can take a while for our finances to bounce back from. You may have to wait for some settlements to come through or last minute paperwork. But it seems like it's going to be a fair outcome, a very just and fair and balanced outcome. So just keep plodding along. Hey, Tom, how are ya? Hello, hello. How are you? I was going to email you earlier and see what you've been up to. It's been a hot minute. And then Ange, whatever this is, I got the Knight of Swords. And it says here, young man to 25 years. So I know you have some young sons. I don't know if they're going to be maybe a part of helping improve the financial situation or might be a part of that justice or legal or whatever that balance that needs to be done. But it says here on this card from this deck, speedy situation or finish. So it looks good, Ange. You got, colors, Five of Pentacles, currently Three of Wands, established, looking forward, waiting for things to come in. I got that Justice card, balance coming in, fairness, and then the Knight of Swords, a speedy situation or finish. Things coming to a quick resolve. That's the word I'm looking for. So there you go, Ange, my dear. Thank you. So what you been up to, Tom? What you been up to? Hey, what you been up to? I was thinking about you, Tom, yesterday. I had to drive all the way out to South Buffalo yesterday. And I had to leave my phone behind. And so I was like, oh, what do I take with me to listen to? And I took my Disintegration with me. And it was the perfect music for the drive yesterday. Wonderful weather. There are some things in the works. Perfect. It looks like some things is going to be coming to a resolve, a speedy resolve. So maybe I should really work with this. Hey, Rosie. Frosty, excuse me, Rosanna. Rosanna, Rosanna. It is a good driving album. And it's also a good album if you just want to like chill at night, put the headphones in, shut the lights off, or have like a candle going or something and just zone and space out. I can't really wait for that new album of theirs to come out next month. So let's see, Melly. Sorry, cleaning up liquid off my floor. Yeah, but some of those make, but you know, those words, those keywords that make no sense really to the card may actually make sense in a reading and they need to fit in there. So that might be like a backup or something when you want a little extra layer. Um Weird deck, and I was 111 picked up to refresh my mind. Oh, and I picked one up. What the fuck was I thinking? Oh my goodness, yeah. Her um Celtic Cross is really quite interesting. I have the book right here. And I thought the 10 cards, all that was much for me. Well, she's got a total of 23 cards. She's got 3 cards for the bottom, the sides, the tops, and 3 for each of the 4 going up. I mean, I was like, wait, what? So it's called Bob's Celtic Cross with the major and minor. So yeah, that look at that. That's a lot of cards. That's almost like a grand tableau. So yes, Ange, look at that. But you know what's funny, Ange? A lot of times I need to pull clarifiers anyway. So a lot of times I'll have like an extra, 3 or 4 cards, maybe or more. So who knows? Maybe she's just covering all the bases. Um, and let's see, Tom, what did you say? I was busy over the weekend, saw the Haunted Objects podcast live, and then I don't know what that is, and then just been broke and busy this week. I hear you. That's why I'm up here seeing if I can do um, make a little coin. Um, but if I don't, that's okay too. At Nosy Spread, yeah, this is just really something. Okay, so I did get a donation. So, girl, if you pop in the chat and let me know you want cards, I can pull you cards. Um, but yeah, that's now if Allison was here and she likes her Celtic Cross, I wonder what she would think of that. Hey, Miss Moonlight. So in the meantime, um, while I'm waiting, if anybody, I can do some mini readings. And I did get a donation from somebody anonymous, so thank you very much. I watched their podcast on the Hoi Palio. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to check that out. So, hey, hey, girl, hey, what's up, girl? I sent you an email about Friday night. So, I can pull cards. I don't know if the person wants me to say who. Here, let me go silent for a second here. Alrighty, yes, I'm a big fan of theirs. So I will have to check them out. So in the meantime, let's see if anybody would like a card while I'm waiting to see if somebody would like. No? Okay. Oh, you did. You Poloi tarot cards. So, Rosanna, I got some different decks here. I am just taking a quick look at my messages. Okay. All right. So, Hoi P tarot cards. Oh, okay. So, Rosanna, I have my Ethereal. I have my artist decoded, my beautiful artsy AI deck. So, Tom, you can mark off. Heather started singing. Heather started mentioning 80s music. Heather, of course, has a couple of her AI decks here. Hoi Polloi is a deck from the 70s. Oh, okay. And I also have my um, Ancient Stones wanted to come out. I have my De Louis, Lenormand, and Tarot. So until I get a taker, would anybody like a card or two? They got a deck that was supposed to be evil or something. Oh, well, I can see Tom. Tom just kind of, I don't know, Tom, you want to weigh in on that? For me, a lot of things um, feel like that with a lot of decks and cards, but Tom has a very different perspective. And I just pulled from my stone or my ancient oracle. No, the Ancient Stones oracle, the stone goddess, the Venus of Willendorf, unwavering love and support. So that's a nice collective message. I could pull collective cards too for the messages for the collective. But yeah, the Venus of Willendorf. If you don't know who this lovely lady is here, she's one of the very first um, goddess statues that were discovered, showing that the women were venerated back in the day, and to promote fertility and the continuation of the people of the race. Um, they would acknowledge the big breasts for the breastfeeding for the children, the big hips for being able to birth children, because a lot didn't survive. Um, and then we have these beautiful, and then you can't see her, but there's a little lady down there, almost like on an altar sleeping. So very beautiful. And the one card that I pulled out from the beginning is Not Forgotten. And I thought this was really cool for the silent season that we're in. Messages from Spirit. So I could also do Messages from Spirit if anybody would like a card on Messages from Spirit. And let's see. Let me catch up with chat. There was a story. Oh, okay, Melly. Well, hey, Timothy. Glad that you are here as well. Thanks for popping in. Okay, Melly. Let me pull a card. And let's see. Their whole thing is about haunted objects, but they take a very similar approach to these things as I do. Well, there is some nasty demonic evil energy that's out there, Tom. You can't deny it. I mean, I lived with it. I'm off next week, so wait a minute. Ange, Tom. Oh, that I would love to see. Um, yeah, I think it's what you give energy personally. Well, there are plenty of stories and experiences of awful things people have seen and been subjected to. Thinks of Cher that makes those huge sculptures. Sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Maybe it's. I just don't get it. I just don't understand, Tim. Um, yes, early. I'm on the same page with like stories. And Allison saying hi to Tom and to Ange. Too bad Heather Ange asked first. Hey, Tom, I've been asking you. I've asked you a couple times last week or two, dropping you some links if you ever wanted to join me. Well, that I would love. Oh, the 90s, The Witches of Eastwick. No, it's been a long time since I've seen that. And I'm not much of a movie girl like I used to be. Well, yes, Tom is sassy. I think that's what Miss Terrell D loves about him so much. She's sassy. She likes sassy. I know it was a joke. So, Melly. Let's see what we get. I just don't know which deck to pull from for you. And I think that one deck just gave me a paper cut. Okay, Melly, let's go for the Tarot de Louis. Likes the idea. So Tim says, I like the idea that someone can turn a slab of player stone into something awesome. Timothy, meet Tom. Tom is an incredible sculptor. I've seen some of his work. He doesn't show it on his channel. Tom, I don't know if you show it. I don't think you show it on your Instagram, but I have seen a piece that he has recently started working on, and the sculpture with the muscle and the bone, everything, very well done. So yes, big kudos to. And I have a friend who's a sculptor too that I went to college with. I like sassy too. Tom's just one of the girls. Not in that way, but you know, Tom's the straight guy that can sit and hang out with the girls. They'll let them paint their nails. Well, I don't know if anyone ever heard the story, but I'm not a big fan of Marilyn Manson. But I remember a interview with Avril Lavigne that at one time he painted her nails for her. So let's see. Nope, I show none of my art. Oop, Melly, we just had a flipper. It's one of my favorite cards from this deck. I would need to finish things to show them. You can show a progress, Tom. And then that way, when you show the progress a little bit at a time, it builds the excitement, it builds the attention until you finally finish it. Tom puts up with all of our nonsense and shenanigans. Well, he knows how to hand out the nonsense and the shenanigans too. So, Melly, this card flipped out for you. I love this world card. And for me, the Tarot de Louis is very much like an oracle deck as well, because a lot of the cards don't show the suits, so they can be read as an oracle as well. And even though this is the world card with things coming, full circle, the full circle of a spiritual journey or a journey and a new one about to begin. I love the fact too that this is also has the moon in it, so this feels like a moon card. The moon energy of tapping into your intuition, not being afraid of the shadows, letting the moonlight shine into the shadows, to show the beauty within the shadows, but also the high priestess card too. So for me, this is more like a high priestess moon card. But I can understand the world card because you've gone through the whole arcana, you have done your end of your journey, and you come to the world, coming to the end. But where there's an end, there's always a beginning. And when you start this next new phase or this next path that you're taking forward, um, you're the more wiser. There's the owl. The owl's about being wise, wisdom, also the being able to see at night. And I was reading up on the horned owl from my Hush Tarot, and they said that a lot of the owls could just fly so silently through the night you can't even hear them. So it's very nocturnal, very all-seeing, tapping into your intuition, and tapping into that beautiful goddess energy. We got the beautiful triple goddess right down here. So she feels a lot more like a high priestess to me. And then your bottom card for that, my dear, is the Eight of Swords. So balancing that with the Eight of Swords, we know that the Eight of Swords is usually shown with someone being surrounded by swords. They're loosely blindfolded, they're loosely bound. It's easy to move through the swords. Here, not in this card, but when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at almost like a clock, like a sundial almost. Also can feel very much like a wheel of the year. So again, a coming full circle. And I love this card too because it makes me think of Maleficent with the Angelina Jolie movie with the beautiful horns. So it's kind of like laying down and being afraid of moving out of that self-imposed prison that we put in ourselves in. I don't know if a recent journey kind of opened up and showed you things that you weren't quite ready to see yet, or you were kind of afraid to see. This could be that strong spiritual energy. Let me see what the next card would have been. Temperance, finding balance. Let me see what the other card, because you know me, I got to do threes. And then the Ten of Pentacles. So a lot of things are coming into fruition. The World card, the end of one cycle and a journey, the beginning of another beautiful one. And after that, trying to find the balance, trying to, again, connecting with the light, connecting with the water, with your feminine, with your intuitive self, your emotions, and finding that beautiful balance of being grounded and being, connected to the intuition, finding that balance, finding that well, that's a word that usually doesn't come to me. Homeostasis. That doesn't come to me too often. But just see how she's basking in that light, though. So she's very at calm, very at peace. She feels more at ease in her body, more at ease with, more confident. And then with the Ten of Pentacles, tens are another end of a cycle, and so you're coming into a more of a sense of financial security, of a sense of physical security, stability, home, and also spirituality as well. And with this deck, again, this is very oracle like for me too, because there's the land and there's the water too. And so, but she's got the two red threads. And to me, the red threads remind me of the Norns, which they are in this deck as well. And the Norns are all about fate. And it's either she's cutting and separating the cords that no longer serve her for her to move on, or maybe she's bringing them together to mend and to create and to bridge that water. Um, I got sirens coming, so if hopefully y'all can't hear that. I might have to mute myself. And then that would be the overall energy is you can be able to move into all this, but stepping out of your comfort zone, not being afraid to move past the fear and to be able to walk into that. No, that card looks like Cher. Yes. With her headpieces and everything. Yes. If I can turn back time. Oh. Anyway, let's see. Y'all know I don't watch the chat when I'm reading because I get easily distracted. So let me just. Ooh, the flippers. Someone said flip. Oh, the flippers. Yes. Okay, there we go. Some show, some show snapshot progress. Yes. Um, each deck has a different spin visually. They do, and I like that. So that's why you really need to know the basics of the tarot and the suits before jumping into the decks that are like pips or have images that don't have the traditional symbolism in it, so that you have that basic understanding. But intuition is also very important too, I believe, in reading. The moon is big and vibrant like my pick. Yeah, a very high priestess and moon feeling. What you know what they say, when that moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Let's see. Yeah, when I am more comfortable sharing that side, I will. I honestly think only Heather and Allison saw that pan sculpture I was working on. That was an incredible piece, y'all. And I'm not just, lighting, a fire under, Tom for, or what, or is it blowing smoke up? Tom really is extremely talented. I've been to school. It took me 7 years to get my degree, and I have sculpting majors, and that were in my other classes. And I had to take sculpture. It's not easy. and what he was able to do with the physical form. He really is very good. Owls are one of your spirit animals too. Well, there you go, my dear. You shelved it for now as I got frustrated. Walk away from it for a while, but not too long. Stuck energy. Yeah, for Tom, for this ring, stuck energy. Yep, gotta get unstuck, Tom. But I went 3 months at one time without wanting to paint or anything, and then I came across a fellow artist in from Bolivia. Was it Bolivia? No, it wasn't Bolivia. I can't think of the name of the country offhand, but I fell in love with her work. I got extremely inspired, and I could not stop painting literally for like 2 weeks straight. I kept going through again canvases after canvas after canvas. So times we go through those dry moments to rebuild our creative juices and to get that inspiration. I know you have your favorites, and the rest of us are not worthy seeing your artwork. Aww. Yes, I need to end this mental prison. There's an ending insight to it. Yay. Girl, you got it. And this too, this could be you breaking the cord, breaking the tie and saying, you know what, enough of this stuck mentality. I am, I'm blessed, I'm grounded, I have what I need, and to make that next step forward. Um, so lots of gloss from the card before the camera. Yeah, these cards are a little glossy. I happened to be on a live with them, and we were talking about it backstage. Yeah. I've been in my head about an ending and beginning pertaining to family and my legacy too. Family and legacy, the Ten of Pentacles. Traditionally, it shows a family and money, being handed down and a nice big house, or a nice palace, on traditional cards. So I totally, totally get that. Trying to find balance. Well, I'm glad that the cards are resonating, such as turning one chemistry into something else like a photosynthesis. Yeah, alchemy. Homeostasis always reminds me of the 1996 movie Biodome. Oh my God, I haven't seen that in so long. And love, I mean, okay. Encino Man, Son in Law, and then Biodome. Biodome wasn't, I don't think, as funny. Lori Petrie or Lori Petty was in there as well. But Son in Law, you know, Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs. Okay. Cigarette butts doubles as filters. I'm not sure. Yes, and Sirens tell me to listen to what you were saying more clearly. Oh, okay. Maybe I missed something. Hi, Karen. Little quick plug here. Care Bear here. Karen is going to be joining Kristen, Louise, and I for some witchy readings next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And I think Karen and Ange, you got something going tomorrow. My days blur. So I know you and Ange got something coming up, which I'm excited about. And Ange and I are going to be doing a show too this Sunday, um, based using the Human Spirit Oracle deck. So lots of cool. I was just singing that song, Bingo. All right, there you go. We got a bingo. Um, I got a new cat tarot deck. Oh, is Grimly in there? Is my Muzzy in there? Um, hey Jay, what's up, girl? The recent Kickstarter of the cat tarot. Stuck energy is the story of my life. Tom. You know what I got for you, Tom? I've got the Artist Decoded right here. And they give prompts for creativity. I was going to pull you one now. You got yourself into that. Chat jumping, everybody saying hello. Oh, Jennifer Tilly was in Biodome. Okay. Oh, I know what movie I'm thinking about. In the Army Now. That was the other Pauly Shore movie. I knew I was forgetting one. In the Army Now. That okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Timothy. I will be live with Karen on Friday at 2 p.m. So, all righty. Yes, that's gonna be so much fun. And I don't have, do I? Oh, yes, I do. Ange and I will be discussing and doing readings based on these cards, the human spirit. She gifted this deck to me early this summer and she fell in love with it. She got herself one as well. So thank you, Ange. Let's see. I will be there for Friday, Ange. Whoa, Tom, that just flew right out. Four of Cups, Tom. This is very you with this right now. Four of Cups. You know, you got looking at what's not working, but you got that. There's an idea, dude. Usually there's another cup hiding behind the person. But dude, it's right there. You just gotta relax and um just go with the flow. Just chill, man. Just yeah. And no, Heather is not on anything tonight. Heather had a little bit of a rough day, so she's enjoying hanging out with her peeps. So, ooh, whoa, okay, another world. Okay, so this is a lot of times, these little mini readings are good for everybody. So, for a lot of us, getting out of our way, looking at what we wish we had, but not making sure that we pay attention to what is there. Kind of like the gratitude too. I know this is kind of like the empathy card, or being empathetic, and just kind of like, mm. But there's an extra cup, and there within lies the inspiration, to really get us emotionally stirred up again and intuitive into our. Oh, Aunt, bye, Ange. Yes, at 7 o'clock, Ange will be going live with Elizabeth, and this is going to be Elizabeth's very first live collaboration. And that's my intuitive. Oh, Ange, I did it again. I keep forgetting her channel name, and it's so embarrassing because I adore Elizabeth. And so, Tom, again, and two for everybody, the World card. So, allowing things to come to fruition. Again, I think you're right. Taking time, allowing the energy to pass, and just sitting with it. Maybe sit under a tree. I mean, it is Pan. Pan is the lord of the nature, is the god of nature. Maybe going outside, um, communing with nature outside in your backyard or somewhere with a tree, and connecting that way and see. But I want to see, Tom, if one of these cards talks about sculpture. I'm very, very curious. Very, very curious. Here, let me see the world. Yeah, Tim, this is a cool deck. I like this deck. Reminds me of some of my artwork. Um, so the world is based on writing. Um, they're referencing Ted Chiang's 1998 novella Story of Your Life, which delves into themes of language, perception, and time. But let's see the Four of Cups. Boom, boom, I opened up right up to it. No, and now we're talking about movies, I believe. The film, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So, no, I was hoping that this might have something to do with sculpture on one of these. But these are beautiful cards. Maybe just like going out into nature, Tom, and letting communing with Pan, whether you see him as a or experience him as an actual entity, energy, sentient energy, or if it's just like the archetypal energy that you said a lot of us have within ourselves. Maybe tap into your inner Pan. So today's show is brought to you by the World card. So yes, the more intuitive me. She comes in here. We see her a lot. She is so supportive. Um, Definitely going to look. going to drop by and check out that show. My cat just put his paw on mine and went to sleep. Oh, how cute. Posey. Doesn't know sometimes why jumper cards happen because they have something to say. That's like jumper cards is like, no, pay attention. These are really important cards. Um, Eo, Eopan. I don't know what Eo. I don't get it. Ten pan. Hmm. Every time I see the word pan, I think of that commercial for DiGiorno. Pan for pan pizza. I haven't had pizza in so long. So we are at 6. I'm just going to go ahead and pull some randoms. And thank you to the anonymous donor. I appreciate you. Readings were not requested, and the donation was greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, well, these two just came out. 2 of Wands, one of my favorites in this deck. How beautiful is that? The idea of the ace, the energy, the catalyst. Now it's time to make something happen with it. Now there were 2. And so starting to create a plan, foundation, the beginning of the foundation. The foundation will be with the 4, but you're beginning to set the stage. And the bottom was the Knight of Wands, which again is taking that creative energy, that and the creative energy to move forward, to get motivated, to get things done isn't always creative as in having to do artwork, but creative ways of problem solving, uh, creative ways of problem solving money situations, home life. Or just trying to get your energy back up, gain passion again about life, moving forward. And I love how the pyramids are represented in here on this very odd looking camel horse. Very, very odd, but very Bedouin feeling too. So almost like something out of Star Wars. So not too small and too thin to be a bantha, but still pretty cool. And the pyramids again, all about mystery, energy, because a lot of people, they weren't tombs. They were actually energy, and they did other things with them to be able to accord. And this is something Tesla, their energy, to me, from what we've seen on video, Shannon and I, there's really more of a strong case for them being amplifiers of energy than just a couple of, a whole pyramid built just for 2 tombs. I mean, it makes no sense. So the pyramids, the energy, connecting with the universe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And whoop, that card got left behind. What is it? The devil. And I just went to go do Sweet Tom, and I got the devil. The devil wears Prada. I don't know. But I always say that because I think of the TV show Lucifer with Tom Ellis. He did such a great job. And he was like, yes, the devil does wear Prada, only the best. So, but devil, about kind of facing together, you know, getting together with your other self, with another relationship, but just joining forces and facing your inner demons, or outer or physical, depending on what, if this is allegorical, if this is, actually spiritual, physical, but facing those demons head on, things that we are addictively prone to, negative eating patterns, drinking, possibly, recreational drugs, food. I know for me, food is something that I always go to for comfort. And sometimes I've been having to learn how to pull back, and to be careful of that and watch that. Um, so, yeah, overspending, commercialism, that's all under the auspices to me of the devil. You know, you're bound, you know, by materialism and your longings and your addictions, whatever they may be. Um, but in the end, you have the power to, you know, take control, slip out of those cuffs. It's like they got out of the cuffs, they joined forces, and they're facing them head on. So Pamela Coleman Smith, incredible art illustrator. She was, Tim. But for me, I've always liked I prefer Frida Kahlo. Not Frida. Well, I do like Frida Kahlo, but Lady Frida's artwork. Being an artist myself, a painter, I can appreciate the ink work and the paintwork that she did, and I can understand the history of the theatrical and how she approached the cards that way and the symbolism behind it. But for me, Lady Frida, you know, really, um, I think was the stronger artist, technical wise, and for me, visually. For me, her artwork was visually more engaging, more, you know, sometimes a little bit overwhelming, you know. Um, but it's, you know, best of both worlds. Finding that motivational thing. Yes, Timothy. Yes. Haven't seen the series version yet. Oh, I it was on for 7 seasons. Tom Ellis was just awesome. I love jumpers. Spirit wants to speak loud with those. It's an exaltation to Pan. Eo is Latin. Gotcha. All righty. Did I miss anything? Nope, but those so cute. The little eyes, little kitty eyes. So at 6:07, it's definitely Lady Frida's hair work was amazing. I will. Up there you go, Timothy. Lady Frida, right down there. Lady Frida Harris's. But I do have to give prompts to both. I mean, these were women at the turn of the century. Um, you know, there were amazing female artists. Rarely did you ever get to hear about any of them because of the male dominated, you know, most careers, you know, are male dominated. Not the male hating guys, but especially with artists and musicians, it's always, you know, um, there are so many creative and artistic women, musicians, poets, writers, but because of the patriarchal beliefs and misogyny in place, um, you rarely ever really get to hear of any well-known women artists. I mean, Georgia O'Keeffe she just, and I think, and I'm not saying this because I love Georgia O'Keeffe, but stars really aligned for Georgia hooking up with Alfred because Alfred was already established as a photographer, um, a leading photographer in his field, and he was already connected with so many societies and artists, especially from abroad, that when she hooked up with him, he was able to get her out there. Um, and she was an amazing artist, but it was, you know, I think that was just how stars, you know, aligned. um Hello, lovely day. I think Amy answered this question for you the other night. She gave you a very beautiful rating. Amy, Mystic Rose Tarot, everybody, she does lives every now and then. She's an incredible reader. So lovely day. I am doing donations today for readings. I've been pulling a card here or there for the collective, um, but um, I can pull cards for you. But you know, donations, you know, are appreciated today for readings. But I do know that she pulled some wonderful cards for you on Friday. No, was it Friday? No, today's what, Wednesday? I think it was Monday. She's an amazing reader. She was able to pick up on and everybody. This is Nicole, and Nicole, African heritage, African American heritage, and I think she said Native American as well. So that's amazing. Hello, Shelby. Let's see. Wish the support of two terrible men. With the support of two terrible. Okay. I missed that. Let's go. Oh, two women created the most. Yeah, exactly. And for a long time, Pamela didn't even get the acknowledgement, and she passed in poverty. And thank goodness now more modern times are starting to let people know that she was the artist that created the decks. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, this is going back even further, Timothy. I mean, once the patriarchal systems of religion set in, women were just. Sorry if y'all heard that. Try hitting my mute button. So another little box for the bingo board, drag races. But yeah, there's so many women. Artemisia Gentiles, Gentiles, Gentil. I can never pronounce her name. Incredible Renaissance artist. She was a female. Um, there were so many others, but at least she, is recognized in the major art galleries. But still, too, to this day, any female artist sells way below any male artist. Still, the way things go today. So things got to change, people. Things got to change a little bit at a time, right? Hello, Holly. Hello, hello. Just wondering if everything's all right with you, Heather. It's because of the no lights that scared me a little. The no lights, because I have my lights not on in the back of the room. It's all good. I can see her name. I could just never pronounce it. Gentileschi. Gentileschi. It's been a long time since I've been in art history, but I've always remembered her first name. What an incredible artist. Scary. Some of her depictions of with the beheadings and all, but very phenomenal. Um, and it was, yeah, I won't even go to what happened to her personally with her, because she was a pupil, she was an apprentice. What happened to her? Um, Heather has finally embraced her shadow side. So, but yeah. So I hope everybody's having a good night. So it's 6:13. Um, Holly, I don't do, sweetheart. I don't do politics on my channel, girlfriend. I don't want to tap into that energy. Um, Sorry, sweetie. Usually for me, when I do readings, it's no third party, no politics, and I don't, answer, health questions, or if they say have to require, a professional with legal or health. So yeah, honey, there are other readers. Check out Holly. Check out, Allie, Heart and Soul Connected. Um, Marina, Heart Soul Connected. Sherry H does politics. A lot of people, but Heather don't do politics. I just, ugh, I'm just so sick of politicians and politics these days. You know, um, I know the RWS can be used for repurposing purposes now. I don't know what that means. It's okay, Holly. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. Some folks like investigation stuff. For me, that's more me. I have done true crime in the past, and it just got to the point where I was seeing, not within our community, but other channels in YouTubeville. I'll call it YouTubeville, or Tarot Tube. Let's say it that way. In Tarot Tube, that would use all these banners, clickbait, coming. What happened? Do they know who he is? It's the father. And it would just become like, these are people. These are people that have actually have disappeared, have been murdered, have experienced something awful. Um, they need to have a voice. I didn't like how a lot of channels, um, and Tarot Tube were kind of turned into a circus. So Jackie and I asked Jackie, if we could step away from it for a while, but we probably will, touch on a few here and there. Um, I do like watching the Dead Files. I do like reading on the paranormal. Sometimes the paranormal will connect with something with a homicide that we can always look into. But the older cold cases. Um, and Allison and I have been talking about doing in the future some very old, like turn of the century, cases long gone, where looking into that energy and kind of investigating and see at that time an era of what had happened. But nothing so close to our time where, investigations are still going on or the energies might be more, I don't know, I want to say more heavy, maybe. Um, but that's something, her and I have talked about doing. Let's see. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. I try to be as authentic yeah, as I possibly can. Um, on my channels, you can use the images for free now on RWS. You can reprint them. PC. Oh yeah, just like like a lot of people don't know Bob Ross. I bought the Bob Ross cards and didn't realize that when he was sick, he was basically tricked, really, into signing over his whole empire, his legacy of all his artwork, his videos, his paints, everything. His son isn't even allowed to teach using his name, and he learned under his father because of his manager stole all that from Bob's family, and I didn't realize that before buying the cards, so I'll probably toss those cards. But yeah, you buy anything Bob Ross, blankets, Bob Ross, coffee mug, chia pet. They even make Bob Ross girl panties. I was like, what? Anything with Bob Ross, this woman gets all the money and nothing goes to his family. I hope that really changes. Um, just won't deal with situations after seeing spoons fly off the cabinet table. Well, that's interesting, Timothy. People nowadays have different opinions about when things like that happen now. As who was it? Shelby mentioned with the Dead Files. Amy Allen was explaining to people that a poltergeist is really somebody within living within that dwelling within the house, having strong psychic abilities connected with possible trauma or the suppression of those, not being able to handle certain emotions. And what happens, it manifests into an energy, and that's what happens. And sometimes these energies end up taking a life on its own. So you have that type of they're called PK manifestations, where it can be, um, especially some of these places that she investigated, there were young children. And of course, as children get older and they're in the teens and their hormones start kicking in, and if they already have these abilities, and if there's any sort of activity already in the house from an actual spirit or energy that is in there, that just amplifies it. And if you're trying to repress it, if you're trying to, you don't understand it, and you're trying to, again, repress it, it just finds another way for it to release itself or to express itself. And it does this in these, what they call PK manifestations, poltergeist. Um, let's see, I don't like the investigator readings. I feel people are far too comfortable laying the blame at random people's feet. I get that. I can see that. That was something actually Jackie and I, it was not what we were just doing, was just asking questions that we saw that were already established in the media, and just saying, well, this is what they stated, so this is already out there, this is what they are claiming. So let's just pull a card and see if there's any truth or validity to that. And so sometimes looking back, yeah, maybe Tom, very much so. So the last time Jackie and I did a reading, we were just pulling cards and asking, like right now, the Delphi girls, Abby and Libby, their case is finally being judged in a court of law. And the guy that they have there, who, they say did it, this guy didn't do it. Richard Allen, he didn't do it. And I've been watching on and off of Delphi After Dark, hearing about and just how corrupt Carroll County is with the Flora fires and everything. So we all have that line, that balance, and we have to figure out what's right for us. I just tried making sure that when Jackie and I read together, or when Sharon Strawberry Rhubarb and I read together along with Sherry, Allison has read with us, Hershey has read with us, that we try to remain as respectful as possible and try to kind of watch, maybe just pull cards to say, well, this King of Swords came out. This could possibly be a father figure, a uncle, but not necessarily pulling cards on that particular individual. But we'll see how things go. Again, we're all so different. Just won't deal with situations. Oh, okay, I already clicked on that. I hate that using another's death and griefs for entertainment purposes. Yeah, yeah. Zach's a tool. Anyways, he's lost all credibility with me. Not necessarily with the evidence that they get, but just the way he treats people. I am intrigued by missing people and ancient mysteries. Me too. Yes, he was, and he did. He took up the painting, to help financially, and just really became so adept at it that, I mean, I just love watching him as a kid on PBS, and he was one of the ones that inspired me. Yep, the wig. Well, yeah, even the wigs. Yes, Karen. I used to do plein air painting with a girl. I no longer talk to her in the area, and she had actually, because she loved Bob Ross, and this is going back like, I think, 2015, so it's been a while. But she had said that she found Bob Ross panties for women. So yeah, and she for Happy Little Bushes. That's BS. Yep, yep. Amy became exasperated. She is real. Yeah, because Amy was getting sick and tired of people calling them in to find out what's going on. And then when she would tell them, this is what you need to do, it was either, you know, they say that they couldn't have people help find, which I can understand. And some of these places in rural areas, you're not going to, really find people in the area who, is willing to work with a witch or a shaman or somebody else to come together to help move on spirits that, can only be removed by different spiritual practitioners. Because not all are, are created equal, and when I say this, like one size fits all, excuse me. And especially places that she would investigate and say, well, this is who's here and this is what needs to be done to move them on. And a lot of these places, like something I experienced here, like Wolf Manor, the guy was like, oh no, we don't plan on moving them on, we just want to find out who is here. This is a haunting attraction. And after her going through all that, being exposed to that type of energy, because these spirits could hurt, they had hurt her. They cause pain, they can cause physical pain inside one's body. And she eventually, after all these years, she had to stop and retire because she got so sick herself. And she would go through these walks and experience all these things, and then sit down and find out the guy's like, no, we're not doing anything. We just want to see you were here. We just want to keep making the money. Oh, so there goes Karen. I gotta find a PK manifestation. There's a video game. Okay, we're talking about Bob Ross. Oh, but that movie scared the hell out of me as a kid. But that's a classic. I think you and Jackie were good though. Walked that line well. Thank you, Tom. I mean, we were trying to be respectful as possible. For us, it wasn't false accusations. We would just be like, well, It just with the car, and a lot of times though too, recently, cars that we have gotten were pointing towards like Nazia Harris. We pretty much singled out the aunt's boyfriend, and now he's been arrested. He won't tell people where she is, but he's being tried for, they don't have a body, so much circumstantial evidence that he got that little girl, would date these women, get in with the women so that he can go after their girls. And she got pregnant, they believe, and now she's missing. She's dead. So those turned out. But like I said, we try to be careful and looking into cases, especially missing and murdered Indigenous women, because they get swept under the rug, especially in Canada. A lot of people don't want to bother. It's sad to say, but there are a lot of cases that go unsolved or don't make headline news because of race, nationality, and it's sick. So that's why sometimes we try to focus on. They still haven't found that poor Sebastian Rogers boy, and we all know watching the videos, the stepfather and the mother know more than what they're letting on. I digress. Again, entertainment purposes only. YouTube. But yeah, talk about Garfield. Yeah, I only use cards to clarify. Always use your knowing first. I was never a lasagna fan, although I think it was my niece that made a lasagna that was to die for. That was so good. Figuring out how a bundt cake pan is being repurposed to make laws, found on YouTube. I'm not sure what that is. But speaking of food, um, well, y'all, it's time for getting close for dinner. Gonna throw on some burgers, slap some cheese on it. That's going to be dinner. Um, and again, thank you to my anonymous donor. I appreciate you helping me out. Um, and everybody, hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks everyone for hanging out. It's always good to see my peeps in chat. And we'll talk to everybody later. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.